Hello and welcome back to another Warlords of Draenor video. Today's video is actually kind of special. I'm going to be showing you the whole process around founding your garrison. Now, just one quick little note before we go in. The footage in this video is used with permission from BlizzPlanet. They're an awesome fan site, you should check them out. And fun little tip, the red shirt guy writes for them, and as a columnist there, which I thought was pretty cool. Anyway, let's get talking about these garrisons. So after Tanan Jungle, Durotan decides to give you a plot of land for a garrison. It would seem that you're essentially some sort of horde commander, and you're very well respected by just about everyone around. And this, of course, doesn't mean that they won't, quite literally, ask you to shovel through crap. Yes, this expansion does have another one of those quests in it. Anyway, so you talk to a few guys, Durotan shows you to your plot of land, and then you place a banner in that land. Our good friend Khadgar then opens up a portal to Orgrimmar, and in comes Gazlo. It's nice to see that guy again. And Gazlo is the goblin who is going to be overseeing the construction of your garrison, so you'll be talking with him quite a lot as you upgrade it. Anyway, after meeting with Gazlo, we need to get our peons to work. Due to how they are clearly far too brain dead to figure out what a tree is, and of course the Horde's love of marking things with flags, we have to go out, mark some trees for them, and get them to chop them down. This quest rewards some materials, and materials are the key resource for garrisons. It's not like you're going to have wood, stone, oil, etc. It's all just boiled into one resource, with the lore explaining that, being that Gazlo is a pretty resourceful guy, and you know, if you give him oil, he can probably build a garrison out of it. Anyway, so we go back to Gazlo, and he tells us to go kill some Gronlings. As it turns out, the peons and the Gron don't really get along, and the peons are a good bit more useful to us than the Gron are. So we need to kill them with impunity, hurrah! After that's done, it is time to remove the banner that we placed earlier and build the garrison, because we've got our resources, we've got our peons together, and we have killed the Gron. Unfortunately, the cinematic is not currently in the game though, so the garrison basically just pops in after the classic World of Warcraft loading screen. A little bit unfortunate, but I think it's probably okay to save some of the really, for lack of a better word, swagalicious stuff for the main expansion's launch, and you know, not spoiling it all in the alpha. Anyway, so our garrison is now built, and with that done, Gazlo sends us off to do a few menial tasks that net us some materials, and then, of course, the blueprints for the next building that we are going to build, which is the barracks. So with all that done, we need to go back to Gazlo and actually get our guys to build the damn barracks. So the UI is actually pretty sleek. You've got a left pane which covers the various buildings, separated into their sizes, that being small, medium, and large, and then the right pane shows a map which contains all of your different plots for your garrison. There's also a pane at the top which shows information about the building, including its material cost and its build time. Since the barracks is the first building that we're going to do, well, it's only going to take 20 seconds. So to build it, you just simply drag the barracks onto an available large plot on your garrison map, and apparently doing this will magically compel the peons to start building, though since these chaps are able to build the barracks in 20 seconds flat, I'm sure there's no small amount of crack involved. Gazlo is indeed a shifty fellow. Anyway, so no matter what Gazlo's doing to get this built so quickly, by the time we walk out of our little hut and reach the barracks, you'll find that it's essentially built, and there is a floaty book outside it. Now this is interesting. You're actually able to use this floaty book to cancel the building. You need to confirm it, like it being built, to get it fully placed down. I'm assuming that this mechanic is here to prevent a misclick from really screwing you over, and I think that's definitely a good way of doing it. You don't want someone to gather resources over 1 or 2 days and then just have half of that go to waste. So definitely nice. Anyway, so after you get all this stuff done, your barracks is built. And the cool thing about the barracks is that it gives you an extra action button, and you can use this to summon reinforcements from your garrison to help you while you're questing, and I believe that's on a 5-minute cooldown. Essentially, a bunch of orcs appear, some of them have bows, some of them have axes, and they just charge some enemies for you. I've seen people use it in live streams, and it does look like a nifty little feature that's quite helpful. Of course, the barracks will be put to use for all these troops and things, and since managing a small army would be a rather tedious task, we get reintroduced to our old friend Sourfang. As it turns out, he is in charge of managing all the small details of your army, and interestingly enough, he addresses you as if you are his superior. It feels a little bit wrong to be ordering Sourfang around. He's supposed to be old and experienced and like nearly a war chief level of orc, so that's a little bit strange. Anyway, I do think that it's a nice touch to have Saurfang there, because at least it gets him involved in the expansion story and it keeps him close to the player. I think that's really important because he's potentially a very interesting character. Especially as he goes back, and maybe he could meet his brother Broxigar. I think there could be some, like, just really interesting stuff there. Anyway, so after talking to Saurfang, you get sent on a mission to save a guy who has gotten himself into a little bit of a Luke Skywalker-like predicament, though unfortunately for him, he does not have a lightsaber to free himself from the cave. So, we go to the cave, we free the dude, and this gets us our very first follower. Now, followers are kept in your garrison, and they can be leveled up and geared up by completing garrison missions. These missions will also net you gear, materials, and rewards for your own character, so everyone kind of levels up together with it, which is pretty cool. Now, our first follower is, of course, going to be put to use very quickly, so we're going to send him off on a mission. This is done by interacting with Saurfang's planning table thingy. The mission UI is definitely quite nice, with there being a pane containing all the available information about the missions that you can do, and then another pane which contains a list of your followers and their different details. Followers can have various different levels, and they can also have traits which affect their mission effectiveness. For example, one of them is Orcbane, so if you send a follower that has Orcbane on a mission that involves fighting orcs, then the chances of them completing the mission with better rewards are higher. And basically sending the right follower on the right mission, you know, one that they're suited for, will increase the percentage chance of getting a better reward, with there being 3 kinds of rewards: bronze, silver, and gold. So obviously you want to be gunning for those gold rewards. And that's pretty much it for the building of your garrison. After you do these short few quests in the introduction to Frostfire Rage, you'll have a garrison with a few basic buildings and a follower to send around the place. As you continue questing out in Frostfire Rage, you'll find more followers, a few more blueprints, and then you'll also get many different opportunities to get more materials for your garrison. Now, your garrison will actually generate them every 10 minutes, and garrison missions will also generate them, but aside from that, you can actually find materials on rare mobs or just random little things that you can click on and interact with in the world, which is quite nice. Oh, and then finally, to check the status of any missions in progress, there is a little button on your minimap which will bring up just this interface to say, hey, you know, you got a mission, it's 25 minutes left, and yeah, basically that sort of thing. So overall, the garrisons are looking pretty nice. Now, I know some people have maybe approached the Horde one with a little bit of cynicism. I actually really like how it looks. It's the sort of thing where you're going to start off with a garrison that's really kind of small and not massive. Which is pretty obvious, because if it's small it can't be massive, but you get my drift. Now, the nice thing about that is that over the 10 levels in this expansion, you can level up your garrison and make it better and better and better, and eventually you will have something that's really quite majestic, big, and powerful. So it actually gives you a nice little bit of progression there. You start off at level 90 with a shitty garrison, you end at level 100 with a giant big garrison that's got a small army in it, which I think is a really nice way of doing it. It's far better than just kind of blowing it all at the start and giving you an amazing garrison to begin with. So overall, it sounds pretty cool. That's a little bit of a preview of the garrison stuff. Of course, big thanks to the people over at Blizz Planet. Be sure to check them out. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I will see you next time.